with all the latest big news, discussion and talking points from the football world. This is Football Central. Okay, and go.
Hello everybody and welcome to Football Central as we build up pre-match to tonight's games in the Premier League, exclusively looking at Man United's match against Sheffield United. This one was a cracker just before Christmas, a Christmas cracker. Let's hope it's going to be another good game. Also, we'll be looking around all the other games in throughout the Premier League as the midweek fixtures throughout England and Scotland are well underway now. Anyway, with me tonight is the man whose channel this is on, and I'll try and not say his full name like I did last week. This is TubeMix. So hello to you, Mr. TubeMix.
Thank you. Good evening. How are you?
Very good. And I am Sam. So we are here to preview these games, and especially the Man United game, we'll be looking in depth at that, as well as the first assignment for new Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel. Who is currently playing Wolves tonight. So same about Frank, but we know how cutthroat Chelsea can be. A few absentees tonight. JLIWheels has been working hard, so he might be here for the post-match analysis. And also Mr. Ben Carney, who was going to join us, but he's got an injury in the warm-up, which he's going to try and run off before the post-match. So let's hope he can do his post-match interview of why he missed today's game. Anyway, without further ado, I will pass over to Mr. TubeMix, as we have about the next 45 minutes. You'll be listening to us as we do our pre-match. So over to you, Mr. TubeMix.
Thank you very much, Sam. Another fantastic intro. You never disappoint.
Thank you.
Right, so we'll go through the games in a minute, but we have got transfer stories. So Arsenal signed Martin Odegaard, the Real Madrid young midfielder, on loan until the end of the season. Real Sociedad, who we played with last season in Ajax, were also interested, but could be a real coup for Arsenal. A very highly rated young player.
We'll see. He needs to play, doesn't he, as a young player? And Arsenal seem to have a good relationship of late with Real Madrid, with Dani
Ceballos, yeah,
being on loan for the second season in a row. And we'll see for Martin Odegaard how he does it. I have to confess, apart from I know he's a Real Madrid player and he played for Sociedad last year, I don't know much about him, but I think having him in the side with Emile Smith-Rowe as well,
yes,
both will give him a bit more creativity, because there's a lot on Smith-Rowe's shoulders, although this lad's a young lad as well, so
yes,
we'll see see what happens. Good options for Arsenal. I would just like to break away from that a minute, Will, because I've just seen latest scores. Aston Villa are now 2-1 up away at Turf Moor, so Burnley. Chelsea 0, Wolves 0 was the latest score there. And I think is there any more matches, or is that in the Premier League?
Oh, Brighton and Fulham has just kicked off.
And Brighton and Fulham have just kicked off. Is that the only?
Yes.
Is that the only 3 games taking place right now?
Yes, and then there's Everton and Leicester, and then United v Sheffield United, both kicking off at 8:15.
So we'll keep you updated on those scores as they happen. Also, there's some big games in the Championship, including Swansea v Brentford, 3rd versus 4th, with either side aiming to get into the promotion places tonight. And of course, as we mentioned, the arrival of Thomas Tuchel, quite a fiery character by all accounts. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. But yeah, you were going on about transfers, Will, so I'll let you take over again.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Well, obviously we said the Martin Odegaard deal, so yeah, that's done. Stayed at Arsenal, actually, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been absent because his mother has been in ill health.
Well, I didn't know that.
No.
Absent, but I didn't know why he was absent.
Yes, but he's back home now, and so yeah, let's wish his family the best of health, and of course a fantastic player.
Speedy recovery there, Mrs. Aubameyang. Hope you or might be Miss Aubameyang, I don't know, but to Pierre's mother anyway, I hope you get better soon.
Yes.
From all of us here at Football Central, it's we're thinking of you, and I hope you make a speedy recovery. I would like to say, no sooner were Villa 2-1 up than it's 2-2.
Oh wow!
And it is. Let me just see the goal scorer. Dwight McNeil has scored for Burnley. So the highly talented youngster winger, ex-Man United academy player before he went to Burnley.
Yeah.
So yes. So I'll hand back over to you.
Okay. Thank you. And also some games, as you briefly said, in the Scottish Premiership. Celtic and Rangers play tonight. Celtic and Hamilton kick off at 7:45, and Rangers play Hibernian. Obviously, if Rangers win tonight, they will still be top of the table.
By a long way.
Yes, and it'd be really, really good to see Rangers win the Scottish Premiership, and we wish Steven Gerrard the best, because a fantastic player, and we want him to succeed at Rangers, don't we?
Yes, one wanting to succeed if he was Liverpool manager, but the fact he's a Rangers manager, yeah.
Well, yes. So yeah, as Sam said, Burnley 2, Aston Villa 2, Ben Mee and McNeil assisted by Westwood and Peters. And for Aston Villa, Ollie Watkins, who scored a really fabulous goal. He's
a good player, because even when he doesn't score, he still offers a lot to the team.
I loved his I loved his header, last game, but he sort of he nearly fell over, once he scored his header.
Yeah, I know. Talking about having to come up with new celebrations, saying.
Yeah, it was quite funny. Jack Grealish also scoring, assisted by Matt Targett and Douglas Luiz respectively. And Brighton and Fulham 3 minutes in on the clock, so they're not long. And
big game there.
It is, yeah. And Chelsea and Wolves, as some said, Thomas Tuchel's first game in charge after the sacking of Frank Lampard, which very disappointing, I have to say. I think Chelsea have panicked, I think. And
yeah, I certainly would have given him more time, and I think, but and I think what he's done for the younger players, oh, sorry, I do apologise. We have another goal. Let's go back to Turf Moor. And I'm just looking, it's not come up yet, but it is Burnley 3, Aston Villa 2. What a turnaround. It was 1-0 Villa through Ollie Watkins. Then the equaliser. Jack Grealish put the visitors back in front. McNeil equalised. And now Burnley have scored through Chris Wood. So a great game at Turf Moor. It's completely turned on its head despite Villa taking the lead twice. 3-2.
oh wow, that's brilliant, and let's hope that game keeps going with the goals, because I mean the way that's going, could you see Villa getting another goal? Or
Well, it's one of those games that could end up 5-all this the way it's going.
oh, that would just be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I've got 2 words to say to that, because there's been 3 goals in quick succession. Unbelievable, Jeff. Yeah. So going back to Frank Lampard, and I mean, we have a Chelsea fan on this show, JLIWheels, who's not here tonight, but certainly in the pre-match conversation. But I'd love to get his thoughts on that on the show. He said Frank Lampard was under pressure, but being a Chelsea fan, he will study Chelsea a lot more than we do as United fans. So I look forward to his view, and also Ben's view when he's free, and even Gracie 21 when and if he's available. But going back to Frank, it's a shame because he brought the youngsters on a lot last year when they had the transfer embargo. It's a good job they had so many youngsters. I think Chelsea, before Frank came in and they had the transfer ban, had 49 players out on loan.
49.
So 49 before the transfer ban. So it's a good job they had quite a few because obviously they had the ban. But yeah, 49 players, and a lot of them have been on loan a lot of times as well. So they sort of just buy them and then loan them. But anyway. Frank, disappointing because he did a good job last year, got him into 4th, and this year, with all the signings, Werner's not worked out yet. I don't believe he'll be a big success eventually because he's a good player. Havertz, even Ziyech has been hot and cold. In fact, all the new signings and the players that are already there weren't doing great. But you got to give them time. You make that many changes, I don't care whether you spend £1 or 70 million on players. If you bring in that many players at any level, I've been in teams where we brought in, when I was playing for Sale, we brought in 4 or 5 new players, and it took a while to gel. Because you're not used to them, you got to work out everybody's strengths and weaknesses, the best position. And the lads that have been there before, we were all a bit, telepathic because we'd played each other for years, with each other for years. And even if you're a top level footballer, it takes time. And it takes time for the manager. Do I think Chelsea got made a bit of a headache for themselves, especially in midfield? Yes. I'm not sure where Havertz fitted into the team. I'm not saying he's not good enough. I'm saying he looked a bit lost in the Chelsea team. Like, they just stuck him out wide or stuck him in the middle. And they've got a lot of options there, obviously, with Kante and Jorginho. So it's trying to fit them all in. Although I believe long term, Werner and Havertz do have to play. But then obviously, fair enough if you brought them two in, but they brought Chilwell in and Thiago Silva, who's done quite well actually, and Mendy and Ziyech is another midfielder. And then you've got the midfielders that are already there, like Billy Gilmore, what happens to him? Mount. It didn't start tonight, incidentally, for Tuchel. But but for Frank, it's a shame. I think he can. It's interesting with Chelsea because they brought a lot of high quality players, and obviously I understand that because they had the transfer embargo. But it was almost like they had the ban, so they were like, "Oh, we couldn't spend last year, so let's spend 300 million this year because we can, because we got a hole in our pocket because we got so much money because everybody's been spending and we've not spent for 2 whole windows." And they spent well in some areas, but I do think they've got too many players that are alike now. I say alike, I mean playing a similar position, and I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
hard to
yeah, I
get the
get, yeah.
balance. I think it's hard to get the balance. I think they've got different types of midfielders. If you look at Kante, is not the same as Mount or a Havertz, but you look at the players that are similar: Mount, Havertz,
Hello,
Ziyech,
boys.
Hey, we have JLIWheels here.
they're all they're all a bit similar. So so a shame for Frank. And right on cue, I can see our Mr. Chelsea himself has just come in. So we've not started on
Yeah.
Man United because we've just done
Right.
a bit of transfer news, and we're just on about Chelsea and Frank's unfortunate dismissal. I thought Chelsea were going in a different direction, but clearly not. But I'll hand over to your
Yeah.
Chelsea expert.
I mean, first of all, hello everybody. I was gonna do a really funny intro today, but which would have really wound Will up because, as Will has found out recently, I've quite like doing a Australian accent. That really winds Will up. But yeah, we missed out on that, so that's a shame. For Frank, yeah. I mean, in my heart, I'm sad. In my head, I'm like, the writing was on the wall. To sack him after a win's a bit daft, but what can you do? Tuchel won't last 5 minutes. I think it's quite a negative selection from him, but that is what that is. Somebody that has done okay jobs without really backing it up, but there are a couple of managers out there in world football like that at the moment. So yeah, there's not much I can say. I'm quite upset about it. I think he'll probably be back sooner than we think, though. And in which case, good for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, still
think
0-0
it's
at the
hard.
minute.
I
Still
think it's
0-0.
really harsh. You should have given him more
Yes,
more
I
time.
think so as well.
If you bring that many players in, I was just saying
Well,
to Will, and I'll let you have your say in a minute, Joe. But I was saying to Will, I've been in
yeah,
teams
go for it.
where I was saying to Will, just to bring you up to speed, I've been in teams where we've brought in 4 or 5 players in pre-season, and we've all found it difficult, and even in the league for the first year, because everybody's trying to get used to their style, and they're trying to get used to your style. And the players you played with, it was telepathic, but now they come and you don't know the best positions, and you're trying to work it out. So I've been in teams like that have been in transition, and I think however much money you spend, whether you're a grassroots, um, amateur level, or you pay £1 or £70 million, if you bring that many players in, it's going to take time.
Thing
But
is,
they don't
thing
get
is,
time.
is it's an impossible situation because do you wait for the shit to hit the fan, or do you pull the trigger? I think it is a shame because on the grounds that Frank has gone, Ollie should have gone earlier on in the season, and so should Arteta.
Look at them, though.
But yeah, look at them exactly. But you say look at them, Arsenal are still in 11th.
No, I get that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
They
is
moved up to 8th, didn't they?
It's definitely. I'll check the table now, but I just find it really unfair. So yeah, Arsenal in 9th, Chelsea in 8th. Chelsea have scored more goals, but they have the same points, and they've played the same amount of games. It just seems ridiculous, and the one thing I found interesting was Abramovich came out and made a statement, which he's never done.
Never does that.
Which not even he didn't even do when it was Mourinho or Ancelotti or Ranieri, or in fact he wasn't even there when Ranieri was there, or Conte.
He was. He sacked Ranieri.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Because he was there for a season, wasn't he? So I think obviously Abramovich has a deep respect for Frank, and that's fine. But I think it will always be a business for him, and that's a shame because you're missing out on somebody that had the makings of a great team that just wasn't clicking, and it wasn't like they weren't playing they weren't playing the Chelsea football, because they were. There are quite a few things in terms of selection for Tuchel that I'm not too sure about. Tuchel, however you want to say, I'm not sure. Sounds too much like Tinkle to me. So,
Tuchel.
So, for example, Aspilicueta over James, ridiculous. He's a great player, but still, no Mason Mount, no Pulisic, no Werner. Yeah, some of them have come off the bench. Abraham scores a hat-trick in midweek on the bench. I don't know. It just seems
playing
like
Hudson-Odoi at wing-back. That's strange.
Playing Hudson-Odoi at wing-back?
Yeah, he's playing a back. He's playing a back five with Hudson-Odoi.
I was having a conversation earlier on with a Man United fan who told me that, yes, United did better so far under Mourinho and Van Gaal in terms of trophies than they have done over Solskjaer, but the style wasn't there, and that's what ultimately lost them the jobs. Whereas Frank, I don't think Frank played defensive. I don't think he played a bad style. I think if certain players like Werner, like Havertz were there, I think he would have done really well. It's just one of those things where what are you going to do when you make a gamble on a signing and it doesn't work? Because at this point, all you can say is, yeah, but for Frank it's too late, isn't it? For Frank it's not worked. Whether it's unfair or not, it's not worked because he's not in the job anymore.
What would have you done? You're in charge.
What would I have done?
Yeah.
I would have given him probably to the end of the month. I would have given him to the end of February. I just said, you got to the end of February to turn it around. And if you hadn't turned it around by the end of February, I'd have probably said, right, okay.
I would have given him to the end of the season.
The same.
But because I think it was one of those where there was a slide down the table. We missed the chance to go top 2 weeks in a row, and ever since then, we've hardly even gone up the table. Hang on, my AirPods just fall now. We've hardly even gone up the table. And in that situation, what are you supposed to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought, I didn't believe it, but all the signs were Chelsea were trying to go in a different direction, promote their youth all right, they brought in a lot of money, a lot of players, with a lot of money. I just want to pick you, and it's ultimately not worked out. I just want to pick your brains, George, because Chelsea had a good side before Frank came in, and before the transfer embargo came in, and obviously that was great because he promoted the youth. I remember before Frank came in saying that there were 47 players out on loan that Chelsea had, um, which is like ridiculous. Like Bayern bought some of them and didn't use them, but you know, and had been on loan like 5 years in a row, some of them. But the fact that there was a transfer embargo last year and Frank got Champions League football, um, do you think? Me and Will were saying, yeah, Havertz, Werner, great signing, Ziyech, great player, Chilwell, he could needed him, new goalie needed him. I get that, but would you say that Chelsea brought in too many players at once? Is my first part of my question, and the second part of the question is because they haven't spent uh, any money in the last two transfer windows, other than making Kovacic's move a permanent, which was already
Yeah.
over the line.
No,
The
yeah.
fact they haven't spent any money over 2 seasons, and obviously had the Hazard money that they couldn't spend. Do you think
Yeah.
that they? Do you think that it was like, oh, we've got a hole in our pocket. Let's just not buy one or two players in key positions that could really help us. But let's
See,
buy 5, 6, and 7 because oh because we can spend 250 million because we're
See,
not
no,
spending any.
I don't know. My opinion is that Chelsea had a depth problem anyway. I think they've still got that kind of problem because, um, they got rid of Tomori, for example, not today, last week, and you're thinking, okay, good move for him, great. Joined because he spoke to Maldini, brilliant. Dream move for a young English player, a young player of any calibre, but it leaves us short, and that's the problem is that you buy all these players and we're heavy in positions and weaker in others. You know, Mendy gets
Too
injured.
heavy in midfield.
Mendy,
Yeah.
Mendy gets injured. We've got Kepa in goal. Kepa in goal, did okay against Luton, but his mistake was dreadful. Do you know what I
So
mean?
you do top heavy. The thing is, you've got too many. You know, Ziyech, Mount, Havertz. Take Werner out of that and Chilwell because I'm keep them both and Thiago Silva and probably the goalie. But
It's there.
in that midfield area, you got Kovacic, Mount, Billy Gilmore, Kante, Kovacic. You've got the Ziyech, and so there's too many to fit them all in
The
for the
thing is,
balance.
as well, I think Frank had a clear career path for some of those players as well, a clear path into the first team for your likes of Gilmore, for your likes of Mount and such, and Abraham. Whereas now, I think quite a few could go. I think if Tuchel doesn't like what he's seeing, they could go.
I think it's a bit harsh to say that because
What I'm reading as well from Chelsea fans about this game is really negative as well.
you
Which
gotta give him time.
you don't
You
believe some
gotta give him
middle-aged
time.
keyboard warrior who's just there like, oh, I wanted Frank to stay because he's a legend, and oh, negative football. I'm like, have you? Fine, whatever, but he could do some good stuff. That being said, for a for a first um, for a first selection to leave out Pulisic, to leave out Mount, to leave out Abraham after he's just scored a hat trick, to leave out um, Reece James is ridiculous, in my opinion.
Well, maybe they needed a rest.
Maybe they did. That's right. You're right.
It's too easy
But-
to say on one game. If a pattern emerges
Well,
and they
that's
don't play the weekend, then
that's
you
the
can
reason
start
that
to
it's.
say,
Now, actually, boys, on the
You know-
subject of... Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
No worries. Go on.
But I was talking to my dad, and about rotation these days. Now, he doesn't believe that teams don't need to rotate. They only rotate because they can afford to buy lots of players and have a big squad. He doesn't believe that players really can get tired. What do you agree with that?
I think the notion of that is ridiculous. I think that if you are a professional athlete, no matter what, when you're running around like a headless chicken for 90 minutes, covering, the amount of half marathons a game, to think that you wouldn't be tired for a game 2-3 days after is ridiculous. I mean, look at United's squad tonight. I don't know if you even talked about it yet, but it's not the strongest he could have gone with.
shall we go? Jordan, I just want to go back on your point about Chelsea. He wants to make a point, and then Will, I think we should move on.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
United game. But if you want to finish,
The thing is oh god, all I can say is I don't like the decision. But at the end of the day, if we finish in the Champions League from where we are, with Werner firing, with Havertz better, I'm happy, to be honest, because it's one of those with the Arsenal, with the Man United, where we're doing very well, and so are Man United, so are Arsenal. But we know with these kinds of teams, your Man United, your Arsenal, that it can come apart very easily.
Yeah, good point.
To me,
Good point.
You're looking, full-time 0-0 with not the strongest side, but if we look at this now. Hang on a second, I'm trying to get the lineup up. Thiago Silva, a player that's won loads. Rudiger, somebody that's represented Germany. Chilwell, supposedly England's best fullback. Aspilicueta, rated as one of the best defenders in the Premier League in his prime. Jorginho, again, has won a lot as a player. Kovacic, so much highly rated of him. Won Champions Leagues. Hakim Ziyech got in the team of the year. Havertz, again, 20 years old, Golden Boy nominee, fantastic player. Giroud, World Cup winner. Hudson-Odoi, one of the brightest English prospects. And we're going into Wolverhampton Wanderers, who, yes, are a good team, but are not consistent enough to warrant a 0-0 draw, in my opinion. That being said, are you Thomas Tuchel, and are you going to Wolverhampton Wanderers as an away side, knowing what happened last time we played them, knowing how much we got done on the counter, and saying, let's set up shop. If we get something, we get something. If we don't, I've at least got a positive points tally once I've finished the 90 minutes.
Very good, and only Thomas will know that. I'm just looking at the time, boys, and the kick-off is for United. Go on, mate.
Yeah.
Go on, mate. Carry on.
Sam, are you available after this?
After this,
or not?
well, what's happening after this?
No, I just wondered if you fancied having a chat. So.
All right. I'll have to see what I'm doing about dinner, but I'll let you know in a minute.
Right.
Okay,
so, are we ready to?
Definitely move on to United, I think.
Yep. Okay. So, team news obviously for this one. So it's David De Gea in goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Axel Tuanzebe comes in for Victor Lindelof with Harry Maguire. Alex Tellers comes in for Luke Shaw. Paul Pogba and Nemanja Matic make the midfield, so they're the duo. Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, Anthony Martial, and Marcus Rashford. On the bench, Lindelof, Cavani, Mata, Fred, James, Shaw, Henderson, Van der Beek, and McTominay. For Sheffield United, it's Aaron Ramsdale in goal, Basham, Jagielka, and Ampadu, Baldock, Lundstrom, Norwood, Fleck, and Bryan, and McGoldrick and Sharp. On the bench is Mousset, Lowe, Burke, Fotheringham, Bogle, and Brewster. And that concludes your teams.
I'm going to say straight away, like, a centre-half partnership of Chris Basham and Phil Jagielka. I get the feeling that, like, Greenwood and Martial are going to have a field day.
Yeah, they're old.
Well, yeah, Jagielka, he must be like, is he something like 36 or something now?
Yeah, Phil Jagielka, I think he's 38 years old.
38? Oh, blimey. And yeah. I don't think he's played that much, has he, for Sheffield United since he's come there?
Pairing a 35-year-old man and a 38-year-old man with a 19, 20-year-old like Ethan Ampadu is unbelievable. Unless that experience helps them, you never know.
Well, that is true. Yeah, it could go both ways. So first of all, boys, what's your thoughts on the teams?
Well, you say Brewster's not starting again.
No, he's on the bench.
It's a strange one. He should be getting in. He's got to give him a run of games. I'm a big fan of
chance, doesn't he?
I'm a big fan of Chris Wilder, and I like him a lot, but there's no point throwing him on one game here, one game there, half of 10 minutes here, a half here, a half there. He needs to run a game to get match sharp.
But you can't.
Also
but
to get in the groove.
I get your point, Sam, but with Sheffield United, desperately needing to, obviously,
I think it's worth the gamble because of the situation they're in.
That's even more reason to play him.
I agree
That's
with Sam.
even more. If Sheffield United were flying and he was on the bench, then you'd probably say, well, yeah, they're flying. It's a shame, but he'll get his chance at some point. But Sheffield United, for as well as they have played at parts this season, they're bottom of the table by a long way. And so, I know, with half of the season gone, a bottom of the league miles away from safety. So you may as well throw caution to the wind. Is he record signing? He's played at Liverpool, so he's clearly got something about him.
Did you?
And
so, just to interrupt, sorry. Did you ever see the story about West Brom's Great Escape? And I think the manager was Sir Bobby Robson, wasn't it, or someone like that? Brian Robson, someone like that. And
yes, I do know about that.
They were bottom, and he took them on a team building exercise to Orlando, to Disneyland. And they had that team building exercise. It's a complete gamble. Could have gone the other way. But from that point, they did really well. It is, to me, and this is similar opinions about football and life. And we agree on this because I think it's time for the gamble. I think Brewster's a gamble that could pay off. So why not?
Yeah, why pay all that money if you're not going to play and win the ball?
Yeah. Also, like you said, 23 million for a player that scored something like 11 goals in 18 games for Swansea in the Championship is not a record to be sniffed at either, by the way.
No.
I think he's proven enough to have a chance. And at the end of the day, I always think it takes a serious player to make, or just luck to make the impact from the bench when he's coming on with half an hour to go, 20 minutes to go.
Oh, yes, of course.
And especially, as a young player who's it didn't work out for him at Liverpool. But although, mind you, I don't think it would have worked out for many players with Salah.
Yeah, when you're
Firmino,
behind Salah, Firmino, and Mane, he had two choices: rot on the bench or go somewhere else. But I don't think he would have expected to be rotting on the bench at Sheffield United. That being said,
with them being bottom of the league.
Yeah. That being said, Brewster is a different player to McGoldrick or is it Mousse?
Billy Sharp.
Yeah.
Billy Sharp.
And Mousse. But isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a good thing? Because you don't want all your strikers to be the same.
Yeah, but if they play that, quite ironic again. I'll make the same joke that I made the last couple of weeks. Quite ironic that, a Chris Wilder side based in Sheffield is so much about steel in defence and all around the team. Is Brewster going to be able to get kicked the F out of by the likes of Pogba and Matic and Maguire and Wan-Bissaka? I don't know.
Yeah, but football is all about combinations. There's no reason why you can play McGoldrick or Brewster.
No, I don't disagree. I think they should make that decision on Brewster, but I'm trying to see it from Will's point of view. Because if we've learned anything about anything during this show, is that we have either scarily similar views or views that are so far away from each other it couldn't get any worse. So we're at that point, and usually it's me and you against Will. That is what it is. I think that they will only stay up if they take risks, and the problem is,
of course,
that they're not taking any risks.
You're halfway through the season, so I'd map out now how many points, if I was manager, how many points I need. They're at make or break now. This isn't 5-6 games into the season.
No.
The thing is, to me, at this point, they're 13 points off safety. If you were anybody else other than Chris Wilder, I think I would say they're down.
Yeah.
But if they don't take the risks and they play the way they're playing, they're done, mate. They're done.
Oh, God, they've got City at home next.
And then you think about West Brom and Fulham. They're in similar situations, but Fulham have a good side that play good football.
Yeah, Scott Parker's really improved them. He has.
And West Brom have one of the most proven managers when you're in a situation like they are. So, and at the end of the day, I think one of those three will stay up.
I think Fulham will, yeah. In fact, West Brom... Sorry, boys, but West Brom are actually playing Fulham next, actually.
Big game.
Yeah.
Big game. Bigger than any of the bullshit we're talking about.
I have to say, I wonder if Billy Sharp could make the blade sharp again.
Also, I think it's important to mention Fulham versus Brighton that's going on right now.
Massive game.
Fulham, huge. Because that also then, if Fulham lose and Brighton win, that separates the entire bottom three from the rest. Considerably, in my eyes. So, it is make or break time for everybody in the bottom three.
I think
so it is the time to take the risk.
Fulham have got two big games coming up, haven't they? Brighton and who was the other one? West Brom.
West Brom, yeah.
So, if they can get 4 points out of those games, or, a minimum of 4 points, you'd be looking at 6 points there, but a minimum of 4, then you're going to be, that's quite healthy. So, big games for Fulham and big games for the others that are playing them as well.
Yes.
The thing is, as well, you're looking at it and you're saying, well, Fulham actually deserve to be safe because out of all the teams that are in that situation, they've been so unlucky. You know,
They have, yeah.
everything they've done, and you know, they should have got a result against United. Should have got a result against Chelsea.
They were very good. They were very good.
You know, so you look at all these missed chances, and we do this a lot on this show, and think, oh well, it could have gone this way, it could have gone that way for Fulham. You know, in many cases you could say it should have gone the way it hasn't.
Do you remember?
But, you know, when it doesn't fall for you, it doesn't fall for you.
A bit like Brighton in a way.
Sorry, Will, what was that?
Well, a bit like Brighton, obviously, who have, you know, have been a lot of times been unlucky as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've come over this mindset the last couple of weeks. I think we're far too complimentary about Graham Potter and Brighton. I don't think they're as good as people think.
They're too nice.
Yeah, and I think it's too cute. It's too cutesy and not enough sticking a foot in and doing whatever.
For that, if he was in charge of big players like Arsenal or so, he's actually better suited for a team higher in the league. Because,
yeah, but you say that, but we all thought that about Eddie Howe, but where's Eddie Howe the favourite to go? Have you heard that?
Celtic, isn't it?
Celtic, exactly. So not that Celtic aren't a big club, but a manager like Eddie Howe in the Scottish Premier League is going to tear teams to shreds.
Yeah. And
one thing. Sorry, Will. One point. No, I can't. What I was going to say. Carry
on. Okay. Celtic. Talking of Celtic, they're leading Hamilton by 1-0. Griffiths and Elanusi, former Southampton boy, assisting.
Oh my God! Do you remember when there was loads of hype around Lee Griffiths, Sam? Do you remember when he was at Wolves and he was banging goals in?
I do.
Was it in League One?
I think they were in League One.
In League One with Joe Mason up front as well.
Yeah.
Rangers. God, oh, sorry, boys.
Football doesn't half change sometimes, does it?
Yeah, it's weird. That's why we love it, though. Rangers are drawing 0-0 with Hibernian. That's 27 minutes on the clock, and if Rangers win, of course, they'll still be top of the table. In the Championship, let's see. Oh, it's Barnsley 2, Cardiff 0, so not going well for Mick McCarthy when he replaced Neil Harris.
I wonder, is Perry and G playing?
Perry and G, let's see, is he playing? He is, yes.
Well in. Good on you, Perry.
Former Crew Alexander captain, of course. Middlesbrough.
The other night.
Do you know what? Let's not even talk about it. How we got beat by that ugly sausage roll looking man called Steve Evans and his disgusting body and style of football.
Apparently he's a really nice guy.
Oh, he's a fucking scumbag. All I've ever heard about him off ex-players and podcasts and stuff like that is that he's just awful and slimy and not a nice guy at all.
Imagine him and Joey Barton.
I think it's because I think he thinks I don't think he came from a footballing career, did he? And I think that sort of rubbed some ex-players up the wrong way. That being said, the game's about to start, so should we get some predictions?
Yes, sorry. And I'll just Rotherham are leading Middlesbrough by 1-0 in the Championship.
Villa lost 3-2 at Burnley, haven't been in the league twice.
Well in, Burnley.
Yep.
It was 1-0 Ollie Watkins, 1-0 through Ben Mee, 2-1 through Grealish, 2-2 through McNeil, and then 3-2 with Chris Wood, I believe.
As a man with family connections in Burnley, I will say, come on you, Burnley.
Okay, so boys, quickly, where can the game be won and lost, and what are your predictions?
Well, I think that's fairly straightforward. I think, for me, it just focuses on Sheffield United's defence. I'm going to stand by the lack of pace in Sheffield United's defence, and plus Ethan Ampadu, I think, plays better in midfield than at centre half. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I think if Sheffield United are going to expose anything, they've got to focus on Maguire and Tuan Zabi.
Right, okay.
I agree. But, yeah.
You know, in the battle of the blades against the Devils, you know, you gotta make a decision.
I like that. I like that. That's good.
I'm gonna say 3-0 Man United tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 3-1 United. I think.
Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, which one to score?
No, which United to win?
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, because they're both called United. So it's silly me. Manchester United. Yeah.
Oh God, what was I going to say? I will also go with I'm actually going to go 4-1. I think Sheffield United will still score, but you know, I think they'll. There's no way Man United won't win.
Okay. Right. Well.
Do you want to bring us home?
I'll bring us home.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
Right then, everybody, that is the end of the video.
Oh, for
if
God's
you have enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel. My name is Jordan, also known as JLIWheels, and with me today has been Sam Taylor and Mr. TubeMix himself. We'll be back to do post-match, but other than that, I think we'll see you in the next video. So thank you and goodbye.
Stay safe, everybody.
There you go.
That's brilliant. I didn't know you could do that.
Stay safe, everybody. Bye.
Where have you learned that?